It's not my trick. It's been around forever, or I don't even call it a trick, but a product you can make on your own, a DIY rust product. Welcome back to the workbench, where we try to make things. And it's Wednesday, so we're back working on the AMT 1955 Cameo. This is the Mars Garage shop truck build, part of the 10,000 subscribers celebration. If you'd like to get caught up on this build, there's a link down in the description to a playlist where you can get completely caught up. But you notice there's no truck on the table. There's no parts to the truck. There's no anything on the table. And that's because this truck we're going to be patinaing, or we're going to be making look rusty. Basically, it's going to be like a barn find style rusty looking patina that's been clear coated, or just been encapsulated in a clear coat. And to do that, we're going to need patina materials. We're going to need the materials to do the patina-ing. And some of those take a little bit of time to put together. So I thought we would start that today, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Starting with just some of the basic, easier stuff. So back in the day, I used to use these. These were really great. The FolkArt, they're rust finishes. Let me make sure you guys can see them. They were basically what do they call this? Light rust and dark rust. But what's great about it is it has a grit to it. So it's got some kind of grit in it. I don't even know what it is, but it gives the image, or the look of kind of rusty, bubbling rusty metal, I guess you could say. That grit underneath, where you can do some really good rust. But here's the problem. FolkArt, I guess, plain doesn't produce this stuff anymore, or at least they don't sell it anymore. So what's in these two bottles is a little bit, I guess, like the dodo, I guess. It's the last of its kind. But what they do offer now, which I found, is what they just call what are they calling it? A texture medium, a tintable texture medium. It's number 60425 if you can't see it. Yeah, and basically it is this without any pigment in it. So it's the gritty stuff. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. Of course, let me show you via this material, because you'll probably be able to see it a little better. I squeeze some of this out onto the styrene without making too big of a mess. And then, do I have something? What can I use? Excuse me here a second. Let me grab this. I don't actually have a brush laying around, but I can just smear this out with the Q-tip and see the grit in it. Hopefully you guys can see the grit that's in this. So it makes it great, and you can kind of see how you could even, kind of work it around. It's really great stuff. So they have this now, just not pre-tinted. So they have it in a tintable medium. This is the same kind of thing. So you can just go get your, I guess if you want to get other FolkArt colors, your browns, your burnt siennas, whatever, and then use it in with the tintable medium. I think that's going to work well, and that's what I'm going to probably try to do with it as part of it. But that's only half the story. So that's that's you're saying, it's going to take some time to get this put together. I mean, you have it in your hands. What are you talking about? Well, there's another little trick that I like to use, and it's not my trick. It's been around forever, or I don't even call it a trick, but a product you can make on your own, a DIY rust product you can make on your own. That's been around for a long time, and it takes a little bit of time to put it together. And let me show you what you need. It's very simple. So basically, you need a jar, preferably an HEB pickle jar, I guess, if you have one, or honestly, just a glass jar with a screw on the lid. So make sure you're not going to be screwing on the lid, but you want to have a lid, and I'll tell you why here in a second. But also glass jar. Okay, so you want it to be glass. The other thing you'll need is steel wool. Preferably, so this is the 000 steel wool. That's all I had, so that's what I'm using. What you really want is the very fine stuff, the 40 steel wool, the finest stuff you can get, right, of steel wool. And then the ever famous white distilled, or distilled white vinegar. You probably see where we're going with this, right? So what's the best patina rust you can use on something to make it look like it's rusty? Rust. Just make rust. Use the rust. So that's what we're doing. So basically, all you need to do, drop you one of your things of steel wool into your jar, cover it with the vinegar. So just pour in your vinegar above to the line, above your steel wool. If you want to do more, do 2 steel wools, fill even more. It would just take a little bit longer. Take this outside into the sun. By the way, do this. I need to back up. Do all of this outside because it is going to make gases. It is going to not be something you want to do inside. So take it outside, preferably into the sun. It's going to work best if you take it into the sun, let the sunlight hit it. I always, and you, very important too, do not twist the lid on. Do not put the lid on because it is going to make gas and it could explode the jar. It will make that much pressure. So what I like to do, because it's sitting out in the sun, just in case we get a sprinkle or some rain, I just loosely set the lid on top. So just loosely though, so that the gases can escape. Okay, it'll take. Well, you can see I put mine out. You can see what mine looks like right now. That was put out about an hour ago. It takes about a day, about 24 hours, especially down here with as much sun as we get. It'll take about a day for it to actually start making a rust-looking material. I suggest 3 days. 3 days will give you that nice dark rust color. I wish I had some to show you that was done, but I actually lent it out / gave to a buddy of mine so he could use it on a motorcycle, on a full-size motorcycle. Because by the way, this is a trick that comes from the full-size vehicle world to patina big vehicles. It's a great way to patina motorcycles, cars, that kind of stuff, because you let it air dry. Once you apply it, you let it air dry, and then you can, clear coat over it. And you won't want to clear over, but matte clear over it or semi-clear over top of it and set it. But you let it air dry completely, and then you can do that. I don't have the finished product to show you, but I do have an example or a couple examples I can show you of what it looks like when you use it. So let me I built this Allison motor. I guess it's been years ago now. Let me make sure you can see. I'm going to try to lay it down without breaking it. It's pretty heavy. So a couple of examples. So in this motor, one of these guys here, that is the rust. This is the rust that's been semi-cleared over, or actually not even semi-cleared. I think a flat cleared over it. So see how it's not coming off? That's what it will look like. That's what it will look like over. I mean, it'll look like rust. I mean, it's kind of a simple thing. It'll look like rust. That's because at the end of the day, it is rust. Now you can add. Oh, I was going to mention too. You can add some table salt to it if you want to try to speed up the process. I don't, because I don't want that grit in there. I want this to be nice and clean. By the way, when it's done, take your steel wool out and toss it or whatever. And you just want the liquid also. And you might have to even strain it. I usually don't, because I don't mind having a little bit. If there's a little bit of something floating in there, it's kind of fine. Anyways, that's what it's going to look like with a matte clear over it, which, again, it looks like rust. Now, if you don't clear it, it's going to be a little bit, you might get a little bit better. Let me make sure I can show you this. So I had it where there, you can probably see it there. That's where I have it kind of dripping down, and that's going to give you, that kind of a little bit brighter rust color. But the point being is it's super cheap. It's super easy. You can make it about a gallon probably if you wanted to. And it's a great way to create rusty patinas because it is literally rust. Now, always before you start, so what I'll do a lot of times is I'll put it on wherever I'm going to put it on, whatever car, vehicle, whatever, a diorama. It's great for dripping down walls and stuff like that. I'll do whatever I'm going to do. Make sure you clear coat over it before you do anything over top of that. So if you're going to do a salt technique or a hairspray technique or something like that over top of the rust that you're putting in, make sure and clear coat. And anytime you're doing a patina, every time you do a layer, you're going to want to clear coat because you want to seal it in. But make sure you do that with it, and it'll give you great effects for rust. I'm going to let mine finish cooking until next week. And so next week, we'll actually get to look at it, what it's going to look like on the Mars Garage chop truck. So stick around for next week if you want to see that, or at least hit the subscribe button if you want to see that, and make sure you hit the notification bell. It'll let you know when it, or just show up every Wednesday if this is the build you're interested in, or show up Monday through Friday. There will be a build every day. There's a whole bunch of videos from a long time ago too. You can check those out, but hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the hype button, do all those things everybody tells you to do on YouTube. I've got more rust to make. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.